let me start this one too. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. I'm tired. I am tired. I have a headache this morning. Let me get my tag on. I wish I could tag people in Instagram, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to tag you guys in Instagram. I don't even think that's possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. If it is possible, somebody needs to let me know. Somebody needs to tell me good morning, whoever that is on Facebook. I can't see you yet because I'm tagging people. I'm tagging people. How are you guys doing this morning? I wake up with a headache. This weather is sinuses, pressure. This heat out here is blowing constantly. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of a lot of stuff today. So tired Tuesday. So tired, so tired. Good morning, Suli. Good morning, Diane. You back with us today? You been missing, honey. Where you been? You ain't been to class for a while. Raining in Sonoma and very humid. Ugh. It's not raining out here today. It's not raining today, but it's overcast. And the house that I'm in, the heating system is the system, just the duct system. That's what it is. It's not the yeah, it's good for the plants. The duct system is not the best, and the air blows really hard in the bedroom, and then very lightly in the living room, dining room, everywhere else. But in the bedrooms, we suffer. It's like freaking little bitty bedrooms, and we have two supply air vents blowing that hot air from both directions. Hold on one second. I can't. Okay. Need to let her know. My landlord is knocking on the door. I gotta let her know I can't come right now. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Steve. Diane, when you are stressed, honey, you need to come to the table for some love. You need to come to the table for us to pour some love into you. That's what you need to do, so you can manage that stress a little better. That's what this table is for, to support each other. No, I can't close the vents because I need to order new vent covers, and I think I'm going to do that. Good morning, Crystal. I think I'm going to do that today or tomorrow. I'm going to order some new vent covers because when we close the vents, the air blows so hard that it whistles. So we're going to either have and it still comes through because they're old vent covers. So we need to order some. Yeah, and the systems, the zones need to be fixed. You're right, Steve. I mean, something needs to happen. I think what it is that my landlord and I share, we share the same ventilation system. Oh, no, honey, my rent is paid. That landlord ain't coming to connect. She coming to ask me some questions, but she came at the wrong time. She came during tea time. She going to have to wait. But good morning, Shay. Good morning. So my landlord and I prefer different temperatures. We prefer different temperatures. I prefer it to be a little warmer than she does. And so I think what she's done is closed off most of the vents in her space, which means that it pushes more of the air up to my space. So anyway, I'm dying up here, suffering. Good morning, Reese. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So today's conversation, am I on time? 10:33, I'm on time. So I hope everyone is doing well today. Steve, I emailed you. Check your emails. I emailed you. And I haven't gotten a response back. My email was a late response to your email, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all because I was late. But, so remember yesterday I said I wanted to talk about, good morning, William. I'm not sure who you are, but good morning. How are you doing? William is on Instagram. Good morning, Bina. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook today again. I'm going to try to do this regularly because this is really cool that I can do it that way. So, Yesterday, I said I wanted to talk about race relations. Well, I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy, right? I was going to say not too heavy, but it's heavy. It's heavy. This shit is heavy, and I'm tired of it. I can't carry these weights. Thank you, Bina, for your late slip. I can't carry these weights, man, and I'm sure you can't either. So it came to my mind, as if it doesn't come to my mind on a regular basis, but yesterday I opened the door and someone had knocked on the door and left a package. So I opened the door and I'm looking at this package, and it's not for me, and it's not for my house neighbor, right? It's for some house that's on another block. So, and my immediate thought is, oh, when I get up, when the boy gets up, I'll have him take this box over to that person's house and drop it off, because they dropped it off at the wrong house. Then my second thought was, hold on. This is a brown boy in America. He can't just go knocking on somebody's door to drop off the box. That is their box. Being neighborly, he can't be neighborly. He can't be neighborly. Not a child coming asking for help. Not someone trying to break into your house. Not someone jogging down the street. Coming to bring you your package that was mistakenly dropped off at our house. And my first thought is be neighborly. Second thought is, oh, hell no. We don't have the luxury of being neighborly. I don't have the luxury of being kind, of exercising that kindness. I could do it. And I think, oh, well, I could do it because I'm a woman. You know, I can't do it. First of all, I don't have any hair. They might not know I'm a woman. I got no hair and no boobs. So they might not know I'm a woman. When I got my jacket on all covered up with my hoodie, I got a hoodie on, that's automatically criminal. I'm automatically a criminal because I have a hoodie on. So, no, I can't do it either. I can't do it. We can't take this package. And that really bothered me yesterday. It really bothered me. I would go with hell no, says Suli. Exactly, Suli. But do you know how much that bothered me? I'm sure you do. I wanted to be neighborly. I wanted to take that box to my neighbor and say, hey, this was dropped off. Or not even say anything. Just walk up and put it on the porch. This is not the time for that. He could walk up and put it on the porch and somebody would say he was trying to steal that package. Not he was trying to deliver the package that was dropped off at the wrong home. This is the thought that any mother or father of a black or brown child in America has on a daily basis. How can my child walk through this world? How can my child cross the street? How can I teach my child to cross the street in a way that it does not offend anybody else walking down the street? Well, how can I teach him that when his mere existence offends somebody? His mere existence, this beautiful, intelligent, loving, kind, gentle, monstrous of a big old boy. His mere existence is threatening to someone else. They don't speak to him and know that he's more scared of them than they are of him. Good morning, Darlene. Nobody will take a moment to realize this boy is terrified when you stop him on the street and ask him, where's the library? He is terrified. You're terrified of him, and he's trying to figure out how small he can make himself so you would just so he could disappear so you don't bother him. And yet you're afraid of him. He should be afraid of you, and is. How you gonna approve your own tardy slip, darling? You're so funny. I love it. Whew, I'm getting hot, getting frustrated. I'm so tired. This time that we have been in the house with coronavirus looming at the door, right, fighting that war, I have been able to take a break from the other war that I have been fighting, making sure my son is safe in this world. Every day when he walks out of this door, I worry. every day, girl. We all got bills to pay. I ain't mad at you. Approve your own tardy slip. That's fine by me. They stacking up. No, they're paid. They're paid. Don't be mistaken. Every day, because he processes the world. First of all, more worried about him than the other two because he processes the world. Good morning, T. Thank you for your tardy slip. He processes the world differently than than how many process the world, right? I'm not going to say, because I don't like to make it seem like that boy got any problems. He doesn't have any problems. He's unique. He's special in a good way. But he has a different way of processing things. So this world is scary for him. It is scary for him. And because it is scary for him, we know there are all different kind of ways that fear shows up in us, right? That we display our fear, all different kinds of ways. Sometimes when we're uncomfortable, we laugh. Some people automatically laugh when they're uncomfortable, right? Other people do whatever else. I don't know what other people get quiet, people laugh, people retreat into another space. This boy becomes like evil looking. So, daughter, you didn't greet your mom. See, yesterday I looked, let me stop for a second. Yesterday I looked at my feet and I was like, sometimes you be riding your mama a little bit too hard. She's sensitive. You can't do that. You know you're gonna hurt her feelings. Even though you're just joking, even though you say you're joking, even though you know that you say I love you, mama, you know she's sensitive. She's one of them Aries. She's sensitive. So you gotta get off her back. And then she's gonna show up to class talking about, excuse me, stop your lecture because you didn't greet me. Oh, no, now I'm gonna have to get back on you, lady. Come to class quiet, say I'm here and sit down. That's what you do. Don't be asking for any special attention. Jeez. Who raised you? Who raised you? Oh. Now my grandmama, she didn't raise you acting like that. Anyway, back to the topic. So the way that he shows up, the way that his fear shows up is that he becomes evil. It's red as evil. It's mean. It's this. You know how people say women have resting bitch face? Well, he got resting bitch face. Look, you frighten him, be afraid. Well, not be afraid. If you frighten him, he will look like he about to beat your ass. Now, he's not going to. He's 12. He's a kid. He's more scared of you than you are of him. But the way he looks is threatening. And it isn't because he's a black boy and I'm scared of what black folks look like. No. It's my son and he looks threatening. Okay? But it's his fear. It's the way, and obstinate and stubborn. But it is that his fear paralyzes him. It is not that he's trying to be obstinate and stubborn. It is not that he's trying to look like the asshole that he looks like when he gets afraid. That's not what it is. It's that his fear paralyzes him. And if you know him and you know that what is going on is that his fear is paralyzing him, then you can talk him out of that fear and out of that paralysis. But if you don't know him, you gonna think this little Negro, I'm about to cut him down to size. I'm about to hurt him because he coming at me like he grown. I understand that about my child, and it makes me fear for him more. It makes me fear for him more because he is a sweet, humongously tall 12-year-old who looks like a 25-year-old if you don't look hard enough, because he still has a baby face. If you look at his size, he could easily look like a 25-year-old. And he's scared. And he has to walk out of this house every day and go stand on the bus stop. And he has to stand on the bus stop with these kids who don't understand him, who he does not understand. So he chooses not to go stand on the bus stop. He waits at the front door. He waits at the front door until he sees the bus coming, and then he goes out and gets on the bus. He doesn't want to spend extra time around people he is not comfortable with, right? And then he goes to school, and he has a difficult time interacting socially with the kids at school, and then he comes home. And so I worry about him every time he steps out of this door every single day. So this time, while we have been at home, and I have had him in the protection of this house, in the protection of my space, this is the first time in his life that I have not worried. that I have gone to bed peaceful with this one. You know, I still got those other two to worry about, but they can read society better. So they understand what they need to do, how they need to act. So I don't worry so much about them. Right, Suli, that's what he has not found that out here. His friends he has really good friends that are in California, and so that's why I allow him to be up on the phone, to be up at all hours of the night, because all of his friends are in California and it's a 3-hour time difference. So during this time where he doesn't have to wake up at a specific time, I'm like, stay up, talk to your friends. But the point is that why is it that the only time I can feel like my son is safe in this world is when my son is in the house for 2 months? Why is it that I can't allow my child to be neighborly and go drop the box off at the neighbor's house for fear that perhaps this neighbor might be the crazy one who doesn't understand that their box got dropped off at the wrong house? And I don't live in a neighborhood where I think that would happen. But I don't live in a world, let me be clear, I don't live in an America where I can be guaranteed it won't happen. Now, we walk this neighborhood all the time. I'm pretty confident that my neighbor wouldn't shoot my child. Pretty confident. But I cannot be guaranteed. And so therefore, we will not be neighborly. We just won't. We don't have that luxury. And then I post on my Facebook page, will any one of my white friends sit down at the table with me to have this conversation? And you know, not one, like bullshit. I don't like this comment. I don't like that I have to pose this question. I don't like that I have to single out my white friends and say, come white friends and sit at the table with me. I don't invite people to my table based on their heritage, based on the color of their skin, based on where they're from. I don't do that, but I have to. I have to now say, hey, let us come together, my white allies. Beta says, you never know. Right. Suli, you just don't know. Yep, this has always been there. Social media put it out front. Yes, I 100% agree with you, Bina. 100%. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this morning, and I wonder if my mother worried about us. And she's on here, so she can answer. I wonder if she worried about us the same way we worry about our kids. Because we were out running the streets every day. We got up, don't come back home till the streetlights come on. Well, she didn't love us, send us out there to the wolves. Get out, don't come back. Don't come back. I like that, my white allies. Yes. But they're so uncomfortable being called to the table. They are so uncomfortable being called to the table. And at one point, I'm thinking, it's not my job to make you comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable calling you to the table. I'm not comfortable. Do you understand me? Instagram, Facebook. I'm not comfortable saying, white friends, please come to the table and sit with me and let's discuss how we can make sure my child is safe in this world. I'm not comfortable with that. I should not have to do that. I should not have to sit you down and tell you what conversations you need to have with your child so that your child is a good citizen of the world. Crystal says, if your white friends won't join the cause or have a voice, then they shouldn't be our friends. Exactly. That's exactly the point. Are you even my friend if you won't sit at this table with me? Suli says, I may have someone for you. Good, Suli, bring them on. Bring them on, man. That's the thing. That's exactly the question I have, Crystal. That's exact. So do I go through my Facebook page and start deleting all the white folks? Look, y'all not my friends. You don't get to be looky-loos at my table. You don't get to be looky-loos at my life. I don't use Facebook that way. I use Facebook to actually connect to people, right? Now, there's some people on there I don't really know because I met them through different hiking groups or different kind of groups or whatever. But I'm not trying to have 500 friends and I only talk to 3 of y'all. I'm not doing that. That's not my purpose. Remember, we have to think about what our purpose is. Excuse me. We have to think about our purpose. Suli says, right, or even ask if you even have that conversation. Right. Why do I have to even ask? Why don't you come sit me down and say, hey, Kai, I just got a few questions for you. Hey, Kai, I see what's going on in the world, and I wonder how that's affecting you, my friend. I wonder, is it affecting you, my friend? How about we do that? How about you show me some compassion? How about you understand that your child can go riding their bike through the neighborhood, but I might want to think twice or 4 times or 5 about whether it's okay for my child to ride the bike through the neighborhood. Crystal says, exactly, you shouldn't have to, and they should invite their dang selves to the table. Exactly, Crystal. Come on to the table. Come on. You were taught how to survive. Your brother once was being pulled over by the police about a block from home. He drove all the way home before stopping because he knew I was home. This protected him from them. Yeah. That's the thing. And that's what I worry about with your grandson, because he doesn't operate the way many operate. Now, Christian and Chelsea, well, I also worry about your older grandson, because he grew up in this millennial privileged world thinking that, I get to state my rights. Dude, you ain't got no rights. Steve said, like I said yesterday, it's not a matter of you having a talk with them. They have to talk among themselves to agree to stop hunting black folks. If they don't hunt directly, they know someone who does. You know what, Steve? I agree with you that they need to talk amongst themselves, but sometimes they don't see it. And we have bona fide friends, and because it is not their life experience, because they don't walk through it every day, they can read it in the news, see it in the news, they can read it in the newspaper, they can understand from an academic perspective what's going on, but they don't feel it. They don't feel it the same way. And coming into contact with somebody who feels it can help them understand how it feels, can help them in that way. And it is not, good morning, Marty. You late with your tardy slip. Put your tardy slip on display. You know what? It's not my job to clean up my neighbor's yard. It's not my job to pick up the trash that's in front of my neighbor's driveway. But if that trash in front of my neighbor's driveway is bringing down the aesthetic of the neighborhood, I may from time to time go out there and pick up some of that trash. I may from time to time go talk to my neighbor about how can we help you make sure that your trash gets picked up. It's not my job. It is definitely not my job. But if it is for my own good, I may still take it upon myself to do it because it benefits me. And remember, at this table, we are all about self. We are all about how does anything that I participate in, how does it affect me? Me, my family, my community, and then the world, right? So if picking up my neighbor's trash helps to bring up the aesthetics of the neighborhood. Remember, Crystal, we talked about your neighbor, because you and I think alike sometimes, you're your auntie's child. Your neighbor had some trash. Well, I can't remember, whatever it was, McDonald's or whatever. That was not, you didn't have the McDonald's, your neighbor had the McDonald's. Now you have a choice. You can put the McDonald's trash in front of your neighbor's house, which some of us might do. Pick up your own damn trash. But if your neighbor keeps leaving that trash all the time and you're about to have company, maybe you're just going to pick it up. Maybe instead of picking it up and dropping it off at the neighbor's house, maybe you might pick it up and put it in the trash because you have company coming. Sully says right there, detached. Good morning. Marty says good morning. But I will feel the death of every black boy. Right. Exactly, Sully. Mom says when you have friends on the other side, you have to individually discuss these issues and then over time invite them to participate in group discussions. Yeah, because they're uncomfortable, but they need to stop being uncomfortable. It's not about your comfort. Come to the table ready. You want to be an ally, be an ally. Step out of your comfort zone. I have to step out of my comfort zone every single day. So step out of your comfort zone. Especially when it's a table of people who you're supposed to love and who's supposed to love you. This is a loving table. This is a supportive table. This is a table where we pour into each other. If there is any table you want to sit at and talk about race issues, it is definitely this table. Definitely this table. Steve says, do you think at any point after watching the news, etc., they are happy to be white in America? necessarily, well, some people, Steve, I think some people are happy to be white in America, but I don't think some people see it that way still. I think that they just really don't recognize their own privilege. They don't recognize their own privilege until somebody explains it to them. You know, if you watch the news exacerbates everything, right? It exaggerates everything. So I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, or if you have another opinion, please throw it on in here. But I believe that, you know, you have people who are watching what happened to one person, and they think that it's another one-off. It's another one-off. It's another one-off. And until they sit down at the table and talk to people who are experiencing these things every day, they don't understand that these are continuous one-offs. There are a lot of good white people in this world, and some of our white friends may not have friends with, may not be friends of white people who would cut you down, who would hunt you down. They may not. And so if that's not their reality, they don't know anybody like that, they don't hang out with anybody like that, that's not their reality. It isn't. So we need to help them. We need to help them. Marty says, we cut our neighbor's grass the other day. 3 neighbors helped to cut it. We were tired of looking at the tall grass. Exactly. It's not your job to do it. It was not your job to do it, Marty. But if doing it benefits you and your neighbor and the neighborhood, there are times that you're going to choose to do things that are not your job to do. It is not my job to sit you at this table and help you understand the same shit that I see. I see it. You see it. Why do I need to help you understand it? Because helping you understand it benefits me and benefits my community, benefits my family, benefits my boy. So it's not about them, Steve. It's about us. It's about, that's the same thing like forgiveness. You don't forgive people because of what forgiveness does for them. Some people might, because that's biblical. But I'm not talking about from the biblical sense, okay? I'm talking about from the grandmama's table sense. The way I've interpreted grandma's table, not necessarily how grandma wanted her table interpreted. You forgive because of what forgiveness does for you. You forgive people because of what it does for you and your energy. And it's the same logic that we apply when we are sitting folks down at the table to have these hard discussions. I'm doing that because of what it does for me, for my family, and for my community. Suli says, I would say I have started having those conversations, and that was only because I posted the question. I have an overwhelming response and a deep exchange. I appreciate their views and I'm trying to understand as they are too. Girl, then you got some good white friends, because mine's scared to come to the table. Mine like, no, I don't even know what Kai's going to say. Kai be off the chain. And I understand, Suli, because you sweet. They're like, oh, Suli's sweet. But that Kai, hell no, I ain't coming to her table to talk about race issues. I might get cut. That's not gonna happen. But then that means they're not really my friends. They don't really know Kai. Mom says everything we do affects us. Typically, our people don't sit at their tables to participate in these discussions unless we have to, which is the same in reverse. Yeah, because you know what, Mom, that's a good ad, because you're right. We don't sit at this table until somebody else forces us to have to sit at the table, right? So we're not just on a regular basis. Some of us. Now let me say, I have a lot of activist folks in my life. So when I say we, I mean them, not us, okay? But we, right, don't sit at this table and have these conversations on a regular basis. We don't sit at this table and have these conversations in a positive way that could affect a truly positive change. And when I say we, I mean them. I mean they. Because we got folks at this table. At this table today, right now, we have folks who are doing things. We've got Marty. We've got you, Mom. We've got Suli that's having these deep conversations. Bina, I'm not sure what you have or haven't done, but I'm pretty sure you're having some conversations. We've got people who are having these conversations today at this table. At Grandmama's table today, we have people who are doing it. So when I say we, I mean they. But needs to be we, including they, right? Even worse, Crystal says even worse, they will have kids with black men, women, and forget to raise the kids as black children. Instead of being naive, they have to familiarize themselves with the injustices their own kids will soon face. That's so true, Crystal. That is so true. That is so true. They operate in a world. Now, I lived in a predominantly white community in California, in San Anselmo, California, and I always have said, I've joked, but I've said, well, there were probably 5 black people who knew they were black, and probably like another 10 black people who didn't really know they were black, who went to the school with my kids. So yeah, there were 5 that knew they were black, and 4 of them belonged to my family. So Marty says, yes, I sit with them and us all the time. Yep, you're doing it, Marty. You're doing it. Bina says, yep, but they won't publicly have the conversation, and that's what we need to push them to. That's right. Steve says, we just have to agree to disagree. That's right. My view was altered after a policeman forced me to the ground with a hand on his gun. This is a 400-year-old behavior. Facts. Bina says, had someone tell me that they cannot control racism. Right. Steve, we do have to agree to disagree, and that is always, always a possibility, right? And I ain't going to hate you, and you ain't going to hate me because we don't agree. Because fundamentally, we're fighting the same issue. Fundamentally, we're on the same page. We may disagree about how we got to that page, or how we're going to move from this page, or what our individual responsibilities are on that page. But fundamentally, we're on the same page. So yeah, you're right. We don't agree on that. And our own experiences will shape our perspectives. And all we do at this table is what? We respect. We respect. I respect your position. Bina says, my cousin doesn't see himself as black. See? I was going to tease my mama, but that would be funny. My mother used to get mad at me. I was telling somebody the other day, because my mother is fair-skinned, and she used to get mad at me when I was young, when my children were younger, because I would say, see, Mimi is white, and Mommy is brown, and so-and-so is mocha, and she would be like, I am not white. I know my mama ain't white. I know. But it's so fun to tease her sometimes. Sully says, only 2 black families in Sonoma City here, where I live, and we are proudly black. In Z's school had not celebrated black history. Z's school hadn't ever. That changed when we started school. Very good. Very good. Those are the kinds of things that we need to do. We need to bring it to them. We need to bring it. We need to bring it. Bring it to them. Make them see. I even wrote to Obama to visit once, and he replied, "Not, girl, see, we're doing things." That's what I'm saying. When I say we, I don't mean we. I don't mean us at this table. But we need to include everybody. We need to bring everybody so that we is everybody at this table and everybody that is an extension of this table. Sully says, Bina, what does he identify as? Steve says, there may be a nice rattlesnake who loves you, but do you let his family in your house? I do, Steve. I do. Because the thing is that every white person is not a rattlesnake. Every white person is not a rattlesnake. Just like every black person is not a thug, is not a criminal. We can't, my opinion, Steve, we cannot ask them not to stereotype us. We cannot ask them not to put us all in the same box and then stick them all in the same box. We can't do that. Black folks did not elect Obama. Black folks participated in the election of Obama, and white folks helped too. There are good people in all races. There are good people out there. Good people out there. Problem is, there's some bad ones too. And what we can easily do is help our good people understand that they can distance themselves from those people in their lives who are counter to their beliefs. So we sat at a table, I sat at a table with a couple of other women. Well, we were actually on the couch. But we sat on the couch and had discussions about elections. And then it ended up getting into a discussion about race. And it was with a Filipina, a white woman who had a biracial son, black woman, and another black woman, and myself. And I think that was it. Maybe there was somebody else. If I'm forgetting you and you ever watch this feed, my apologies. But the Filipino woman was very, very, very comfortable, had plenty of black friends, but she knew people. She had people in her family who did not like black people. And I said, well, you need to distance yourself from those people. Family or not. Family or not. You distance yourself from people who are not fundamentally on the same page that you're on. Doesn't mean they have to share your same opinions. But fundamentally, you have to be at the same place. And then you can agree to disagree on all of the little details about that space. But you need to be in the same space, reading from the same book, exercising the same morals and ethics. You need to be at that same place. I can't be sitting at a table with somebody who does not like Nigerians. I love me, my African brothers and sisters. So don't come to my table talking about them Africans. If you come to my table talking about them Africans, I might spend some time trying to educate you. But if you can't be educated, we're going to have to distance ourselves. Because there's no them Africans in my world, right? And I do have that experience sometimes. It's hard. I got to cut those bugs out. Let me go back to your comments. Mom said, often it's our own that do us more damage than some of them. And that is more painful. Right. Right. And Bina says, don't know. He is Haitian, but not black because we mixed. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. If he identifies as Haitian, okay, I guess. Crystal says, I don't see anything wrong with us being in our own different boxes. Just allow us all to be stacked happily together on the same shelves. That's the problem, is that when you're in your different boxes, Crystal, you're not stacked happily together on the same shelves. Or on the same shelves. That's not how it happens. Let's see. Filipinos don't like blacks. It's the outliers that marry blacks. Yeah, just like the Asians, Chinese. Steve says, I know amazing white people who are my friends, but I know they are the exception to the rule. I don't carry hate in my heart, but I'd be stupid to ignore the dangers. Right. Nobody is saying ignore the dangers. Nobody is saying ignore the dangers, but that's why we have these open conversations. Because I must admit, I have some very dear, and Suli says, and some want to be on the top shelf. I have some very dear friends of mine who are white, right? But I don't have these conversations. And now I'm challenging myself to start to have these open conversations. You're going to be uncomfortable at my table, be uncomfortable. Maybe you don't need to be in my friend circle if we can't have these conversations. And there's some friends of mine who are very close to me that didn't answer my call on that Facebook page. I'm about to call them out in person, make some phone calls today. Bina says, just stop killing us. I'm happy to be in my box. Steve says, thank you. I'm Nigerian. Great story to share at another time. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is the thing. I don't want to be in a different box. Let me say, I want to be in a box of one, which is my box. I'm very unique and special. I is beautiful. I is kind. I is intelligent. I is not sweet. I don't want to be in a different box. I don't want to be in a different box. I just want to be recognized for who I am. I want to be seen. I want to be seen. Michelle Obama's in her movie, she said that when she went to Princeton, I think it was the first one, when she went to Princeton, it was the first time that she experienced the differences, right? She grew up south side of Chicago. She grew up around all black folks. And she said what gave her strength was that she was always seen. She never felt invisible. She was always seen, but it was her family. It was her community who always saw her. It was her community who always saw her. So now I'm thinking about how to help my children operate in this world, or the youngest one at this point, just make sure I see him. I see him, to make sure that I see him. If I see him and his Mimi sees him and his cousins see him and his uncles and aunts and everybody in his family sees him, then when he goes out in this world and some folks don't see him, some folks see him as for somebody that he is not, that's okay. Because he has the strength. Remember that we say we've said before, we have to build up our children to give them this strong center to come back to when they are thrown off kilter, right? So I'm building him up. I'm seeing him and making sure those people around him who love him see him as well. So that he has always that place to come back to, always. Suli says she always speaks out. That's good. My son is watching all the time, and I need him to see that you don't accept any type of mistreatment just because of the color of skin. Yeah, but you have to teach them. That's right, Suli. But you have to teach him how to not accept it. How to not accept it, right? Because I think that's what my strength is with my mom, where she taught me how to not accept it. Was not by going and acting a fool. No, it wasn't about acting a fool and how you operate. It wasn't by cursing people out, by doing whatever else. I was watching Noah. Anyway, the comedian from South Africa. Why can't I think of his last name? Anyway, you all know who I'm talking about. I was watching his show yesterday, and he said that his mother told him that if the people use the racism on him, then what you have to do is take it in and mix it all up with the love of Jesus and throw it back at him. He was a kid like, what? She's like, that's right. You take it in, you mix it all up with the love of Jesus, and you throw it back at him. And so Trevor Noah, thank you. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I love Trevor Noah. Exactly. So when he had someone who, when he came to the United States and he had someone who used the N-word on him, he said he was walking across the street and someone called him a nigger, and he turned back, nigga, and he turned back around and was like, you my nigga. And they're like, and he was smiling at him, and he was like, yes, you my nigga. And the guy was like looking at his hands like, what just happened? What just happened? So I think that that's the thing, is that we have to teach our kids to not accept, but to not accept in a way that doesn't suck all of them out, that doesn't take them out of their character, that doesn't make them stoop to the same level of those that are shooting out the negativity towards them. Don't stoop to that level. And then Michelle Obama said she had that saying, when they go low, we go high. And she, in her interview in the documentary, she said, it's not easy. That's not easy. It's not easy. It wasn't always easy, but we didn't have a choice. So see, I like that, because she was saying it's a struggle for us to go high sometimes. It is definitely a struggle, but they didn't have a choice because he had the most powerful position in the world. You can't go low when folks go low. Crystal says, but Auntie, I think you can't ignore that we are different. That's what I'm saying. I see no color. Yes, you do. No, I'm not. Yes, okay. We have no choice but to be in a different box. Just know that the color of your box is irrelevant to the way you should be treated. Oh, Trevor Noah is great. When this turns into a big talk show, you should invite him. Oh, I love you, Crystal. I love you. The problem with problem with the way other people, I think I understand how you're saying it. I'm not saying don't see my color. You do see my color. And if you tell me I don't see color, you a damn lie. You a damn lie. Because my color is on full display. I want you to see my color. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if you don't see my color, you don't see my beauty. See my color. See my color, but don't let that form any thoughts in your head. Don't let that cause any particular type of judgment. Don't let that stop you from allowing me opportunities. See it, marvel in it, because it's gorgeous. You want to be like me, I know, going to the tanning booths. But what I'm saying is, it's just like the separate but equal education. Separate is not equal, and it's never going to be equal. So putting us in different boxes those boxes will never be equal, because the people that hold the power won't allow it to be equal. So we can't have separate but equal. We can't have separate boxes. No, we got one box. We got one box. But we are not a melting pot. We are a stew. We are a stew, not a melting pot. A stew. Because I want to taste my potatoes separately from my broccoli, separately from my chicken, separately from my peas, separately from my carrots. Well, imagine mixing all of that up together, putting it in a blender and eating it. That's disgusting. I don't want that. So I don't want us to be in separate boxes. I just want us to individually be, our own individual flavor be recognized in the one box that we all belong in. But I think we're saying relatively the same thing, Krista. Steve said I borrowed some bats from Suli to make sure they go high. You're so wrong, Steve. If I know Suli, she ain't getting none of her bats. She needs those for her own protection, man. You tripping. Get your own bats. Elaine says, plus, when you go high, it usually throws them, and they display their ignorance trying to figure out how to receive your words. Right. Like that man that Trevor Noah said, you my nigga, and that man looking at his skin like, did I turn black within the last 5 minutes? What happened? Suli said, Mom says, yeah, excellent definitions too, right? And Suli says, I don't want to be in a box, period. I don't want to be in a box. Don't put baby in a corner. Don't put Kai in a box, okay? I don't belong in any box. I can't check any particular box, because if I check one today, it's going to be a different one tomorrow. Trust me. Y'all know you've sat at this table long enough that every day Kai is going to be from a different box. Well, every day she's going to be on some stuff. I can surely expect that unless she's sick, she's going to be on something. Crystal says, well, I'll take the stew from our box, please. You're so silly, Crystal. You understand? I'm fluid. Yes, exactly. Mina says they okay with you as long as you're not doing better than them. But this is what I want us to do. I want us to think about. I want us to keep having these conversations, us with each other. But more importantly, if you're not having these conversations with your white friends, I want you to invite your white friends to the table. And it doesn't have to be a literal table, figurative table. Have the conversations. Don't avoid the conversations. Because sometimes we, meaning me, I avoid the conversations with my white friends and call up one of my black friends because they'll better understand. Well, I need my white friends to start understanding. So let me call them. Let me call them and explain to them why this is a problem. And let's have that conversation. I'm going to, if I have to be uncomfortable, I'm about to make your ass uncomfortable too. How about that? We're going to all be uncomfortable so that we can find comfort together. Not because I dislike you, not because I don't want you in my life, not because I hate you, because I don't. I love you. I want you in my life. I want us to all be comfortable together. But if we are all comfortable together, that means we may first have to be uncomfortable in order to find that comfort. I'm not going to be the only one uncomfortable. We're all about to be uncomfortable. And then we'll find our center together. That's what we're going to do. So we have to talk to our friends because I'm tired. I'm tired, and after this world opens up, I don't know if I want to send my boy back out into it. I've had a taste of this. I've had a taste of this relaxation. I've had a taste of this peace. Crystal says, are you open to understand their perspective too? That's the real question. Well, as long as their perspective isn't it's okay to kill black folks. Like, other than that, no, I'm not. As a matter of fact, when we need to have the conversation so I can understand your perspective. And once let me back up. Yes. I'm absolutely open to understanding their perspective. That does not mean that after we have the conversation and I understand your perspective, we will still be friends. That's not what that means. That means I need to know where you stand. So having this conversation will help me know where you stand, right? And I've been avoiding some of these conversations sometimes. Go have them with my black friends, but no, I'm going to push you out of your comfort zone because I need to know, where do you stand? Are you standing beside me, or are you pushing me in the middle of the street to get run over? What are we doing here? When all the shit hits the fan, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? You going to be turning that fan towards me? You don't want to smell the shit, you just want me to smell the shit? It's not okay. It's not okay. So yes, I'm definitely open to understanding their perspective. As a matter of fact, that's the whole point of coming to the table. We need to understand each other so that I can make some better choices in my life if I've already made the mistake of thinking that you stand where you don't stand. So we're going to all be okay with being tired of it on So Tired Tuesday. Yeah, that's the problem, Bina. That's the problem. Bina says, I don't believe they will be honest on where they stand. And Steve says, I spoke this prayer at church Sunday. You don't have to read it now, but I wanted to share. Okay, all right, I'll read it later. Bina, they might not be honest verbally, but if you keep pushing the conversations, you'll come to understand regardless. You'll come to see what Janice always says, and a couple of other people, what's in the dark will come to the light. So you keep having those conversations, they won't have to be honest in their words. You will see it. You will see it. My white friends enjoy my company, but they won't fight beside me. Bina, you need some other white friends. You need to be giving your company to the ones that's going to throw them bows just like you. That's going to be at the rally with you. That's going to be right there beside you, because there's plenty of them who will. Plenty of them who will. Plenty of them who will take the blow. Who will take the blow for you. So if the white friends that you have in your life won't take that blow for you and won't be in that fight with you, this is the time to re-examine those friendships. Maybe they're not friends. You just need to keep them at a distance. Give them your company when that's what you want, but understand what you're doing. Understand what you're doing. Anyway, I'm at my limit. I'm over my limit, but this was a good topic, and it was good interaction, conversation. So sometimes it's not just me talking, it's me running off at the mouth and you guys chiming in, and that's what we're supposed to do at this table. So we are tired of it today. And we're not going to walk away from this table today just being down about it. We're going to walk away from this table understanding that we are charged to have these conversations. Steve, you don't have to have them. And Mom says you need real white friends because the ones in your life are not friends. Right. Right. Everybody that's in your life right now doesn't necessarily need to be in your life. And this is the time to re-examine that. All a part of boundaries. It all comes back to self. Think about yourself and how you want to show up and how people are showing up in your life. And you need to re-examine those friendships. Re-examine them and place them in the right... Place those friendships, place those friends in the right box. Maybe they need to be in a box that's at the back of the attic on the shelf that you don't get to all the time, right? Maybe that's where they need to be. People who have been in your life for a long time, maybe they didn't need to be there. But this is where you need to fortify yourself and fortify your friendships, fortify your circle. Make sure that the people who are in your circle deserve to be there and should stay. Should be welcome at your table, and they should be ready to fight alongside you at any given point. So when you leave the table today, we're going to know that these are conversations that we're going to keep having with each other and that we are going to have with those around us. And the next opportunity, now I'm not saying go seeking out the conversation. Don't go over to your white friend like, hey, I need to talk to you. I got a bone to pick with you. No, we're not doing that, okay? But the next time something comes up, and you want somebody to talk to about it, call one of your white friends. Talk to them about your frustration. Let's see how that goes. Don't avoid the conversation. Don't avoid making someone else uncomfortable. Don't avoid that. Reese says, the look on my white co-workers' faces are priceless. You are my Bluetooth speaker. They gotta know. Step out your comfort zone. You want to be friends with black folks, you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable until you can get comfortable. And if you don't understand, then you need to step to the table and have these conversations. If you really want to understand. So see, some people don't want to understand, so they rather hide. Let them hide then. Move on. So I'm going to go make sure that you guys are having these conversations because we are tired and we are tired of being tired. Dina says, it's not my job to make you comfortable with me being black. That's right. That's right. That is absolutely right. But we have been... Okay, I said I was getting off. But think about that historically. It has been our job. It has been our job. Historically. You couldn't be seen by the white person. You couldn't be heard speaking by the white person. You had your parents, not your parents, right? I'm talking about back in the day. Not my day or your day or anybody's day on this table, at this table, really. Maybe a little bit of my mama's day. You had to be so small that you did not get the white person's attention. And think about that. Think about how when you walk down the street, you divert your eyes away. That's what you were taught to do. Not you or me, but years ago, that's what we were taught to do. Don't have eye contact with the white folks. Don't look at them. You looking at my woman, boy? Come on. Like, we all understand this. That's been ingrained in us. Hundreds of years. That's how you survive. Don't let the white folks see you. Well, I'm telling you today, we about to change that. Pretty soon, these will not be opposable thumbs. Pretty soon, our thumbs will work like fingers because we're all using them so much to type on our phones that in generations to come, our thumbs will be like fingers, right? So I need these thoughts to start to be put in the people around us so that years to come, we will walk down the street. We will not divert our attention. We will not step out of your way automatically. Why do I step out of your way? You don't step out of my way. I've started doing that. I'll bump into your ass. Keep on stepping. You didn't step out of my way. Why am I stepping out of your way? Why am I not looking at you? So these are the things. That's right. Don't dim your light. Don't step over to the side on the sidewalk. Somebody walking towards you, let them step over to the side unless it's a black person. Step over to the side. Be polite. But you are not going to show anybody any more politeness than what they show you. But don't go getting yourself killed because you done knocked over some white person on the street. Don't do that. Like, we're not being stupid here, okay? The point is, don't dim your light. We are tired of being tired. We have to make a change. And we're going to come back to this table a couple of more times, many more times, to have these conversations so that we can make sure that we are not just having the conversation at the table, getting up, putting our teacup in the sink, and then going on about our business like we never had this conversation. We are going to keep revisiting this, ways that we can strengthen ourselves, strengthen our community, and help to make some positive changes. It's not our job to make other people comfortable. It's not my job to teach you about white fragility. However, if that trash or that uncut grass is messing up the aesthetic of my neighborhood, I might take it upon myself to step in for my good and for the good of the community and for good of the people around me, right? So sometimes we have to step in and do stuff that's not our job. I don't know how many times I tell my boss that ain't in my job description. But do you want to be told that about life? That's not in my job description. That's not in my black card description. It's not. It's not. It's not. But if you want to be most comfortable, you might want to take it upon yourselves to do it. You don't have to agree, Steve. You don't have to agree. That's okay. If enough of us agree, the rest of us will do it, and you don't have to. Bina says that's why I don't want to dim my light for their comfort. And Crystal said, that's so me. I guess we're about to crash. I'm not getting out of the way if you don't even attempt to move, right? So today, walk away from this table. We are tired of being tired. So we're not just going to sit in that exhaustion. We're going to figure out, each of us individually, figure out one thing that we can do to start making our light shine everywhere we go. Crystal, you are charged with instilling some positivity in those little young ones that you have, and my nieces and nephews, so that we make sure that they know how to operate in this world. And we're going to come to this table and have lots of conversations about how we can better show up. And not show up, and when I say better show up, I don't mean in comparison to what white folks expect of us. I mean so that we can better show up in our community, so that we shine, our families shine, our community shine. And when we need to have these conversations, we are having these conversations. And that's better showing up to me, by my definition. Mom says if we all don't take on sharing with others what we are feeling or know, then no one benefits, right? Heading into a meeting. We're out of here, Bina. Headed to your meeting. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming to the table. We are going to go now. I'm way over my time. Y'all done kept me at this table too long today, but I love you for it. Thank you so much for coming to my table. Thank you so much for engaging in the conversations. Whether we agree or don't agree is not relevant. Whether we agree or don't agree is not relevant. It is more relevant that we share and that we understand each other's perspective, or strive to understand each other's perspective. That's it. Fundamentally, we are all on the same page, fundamentally. And respecting each other's opinion is very important to moving and operating in this world and sitting at this table. It's all about respect. Thank you very much for showing up and showing out as you always do. Enjoy your day. And most importantly, stay home, stay home, stay home.